everyone. Hi. So welcome to the Solstice live stream and happy solstice everyone. And if anyone would like to join the solstice group this evening in UK time, it's 7 p.m. UK time, and that can be joined by the GEN website. And if you're not able to be on that live, you'll all get a recording of it automatically emailed. Yeah, and for one-to-ones, as usual, they can be booked via the Archangel Raphael healing site, and equally 5-minute messages as well. And past groups can be bought via the GEN site or audios as well on various subjects. So I'm just going to let Archangel Raphael come in and speak through me. Hmm. Oh. I would like you to know that what I am actually seeing at the moment is that there are many things which are going on, which are about people being much more about themselves in a way where they are realizing that life is really about inner connection rather than outer activity and going into energies which are not fully connecting to the inner landscape, the internal landscape that you are tuning to, which is your own. And what I will say about the internal landscape of a person is that it is made up of many things. So the internal landscape is made up of higher self connection, things that you are feeling inside, which are directly connecting to the higher self. The internal landscape is also made up of things which are fully resolved in you. So, things that you are still working through on a deeper level of your being. And finally, the internal landscape is also made up of something else, which is a lot of energy that you have created around being who you are on earth. So there is a lot of energy also that you have created yourself, which may not be fully aligning to the oneness. When you engage with your internal landscape, and according to this, you make decisions, you do what feels right at the time, what you will find is some of these things will be extremely aligned. Some of these things will actually take your life forwards. And some of these things will be more about things you are resolving internally, conflicts, energies which are not fully processed. And then some of these things will be more about your personality as it has been in one way or another created across space and time. And through this, you learn things about yourself. You perhaps realize that sometimes you are, in one way or another, pushing too hard, or being someone who is a bit more about getting what they want rather than just allowing what is right to come in. So you are learning. So when you engage with the internal landscape, you are actually learning, evolving. Even if not everything you do is aligned, you learn something. But when you go into states where you are literally no longer in yourself at all, then the learning is not there. Then you realize actually that you do things, but there is nothing really there for you. Even if it is to just realize that you are not quite right in some way, that learning also may not be there for you because you are really very much out of yourself. And what you can then notice through this is that you are leaving yourself behind. And then the learning is to come back to yourself, to reconnect with yourself. But when you leave yourself behind, when you fully abandon yourself, you are not able to actually make progress. So even if you do things and you are then feeling inside very hard done by as a result, if you are in your own energy, you are learning something. So if you say you're doing something in the world and it is in your own energy and you notice that people are generally not very good to you, treating you unfairly, then what you are seeing here is that there is something to resolve on a deeper level in you around being treated fairly, that there is a theme around this. And in this way, you can go deeper. Even if there is a lot of pain there, you can engage with that and clear the energy and find yourself then able to be in a much clearer state internally and have new experiences. So, generally, what happens is that people start to leave themselves behind, where when they find there is a lot of pain activated by being immersed in themselves. But what I would like to share today is something very interesting with all of you. And that is because of the change in energy recently, in particular. What is going on at the moment is that when you do immerse yourself in your own landscape, regardless of what happens, whether it is good or bad, whether it is something you end up actually going into, which is very painful, you will find that you will be met by life. You won't be left alone to suffer. So I would like to share this, that times are very different to how they used to be, that it is really okay to go into what is going on. And if you ever feel that you have a deep pain active and you are not being met, then what it is generally about is just allowing the energies to be felt for a moment, the experience of not being met. And then something will actually change rapidly because there are so many angels on earth at the moment. People who come in the form of beings who are here incarnate, but the people are actually on a very high level indeed. Many beings of light have incarnated, people who can be considered enlightened in their own right. But what they are generally doing is helping to pick up the pieces in life, the things which have happened across space and time that have been very painful for people to process. And these people are available in everyday life, and you may be one of them. But I will say there are many people like this who have a lot of kindness, compassion, the ability to see past things which are going on that may feel very real. For example, being treated unfairly, and the experience may actually look on the surface like the way you are treated is somehow justified. But there are so many beings of light here that all these things are able to be penetrated deeply and seen. And the truth is able to come out very easily when you have got this in your life, this type of frequency of being met fully. So I would like to share all of this now. I am sharing this to those of you who really feel a lot inside, who find it easy at times to just abandon yourselves, to just fully let go of what you are feeling, experiencing, in order to have some moments of relief. That it is not really about this anymore, that you can be yourself, you can immerse yourself in you. It is safe to do so. And even if things feel at times like it is a journey that is constantly, in one way or another, like waves, constantly up and down, it is okay, it is safe, because you will be met there. I also would like to communicate that when you are feeling this inside, do remember you are no different to others. You are all in the same boat. You are all experiencing these waves equally. I would like to speak about something else now, and that is there are so many beings here on earth at the moment who are really light. They may not all show up as light, however. Some of them may show up as individuals who are a bit in need, but once they have been in one way or another met, they actually emerge as beings of light who are actually brighter than the others who may have been in one way or another seemingly more well. And that is actually because many beings of light are choosing to come in order to experience certain things, to then be able to clear these things and help others, particularly things which are considered extremely difficult to fully recover from. So, what I will say to those of you who are perhaps in this category, or those of you who are perhaps working with individuals who seem to have many issues, problems, many needs, is be very much in your higher self, because you will be guided to help others in the right way. And you may be surprised how well people are able to become people who perhaps would be considered people who will never recover, who will stay unwell for life. That it is a very new time, and there are many beings who come in to show others that certain things are able to be fully recovered from in this life, and to help others with this process. So be very much aware of this. And if you are in this category, remember that it will be made known to you by your higher self if you are meant to be fully well and inspire others in this direction. It is good for you to know this. It is good for you to know that this is a time where the seemingly impossible will become possible, and many beings are here to demonstrate this to others. It is no longer a time of limitation, restriction, a time where people are just left and nothing changes their whole life. It is the complete opposite. It is a time where everything will turn around and change. And it is very good to really be very deeply immersed in this, within, in this knowing. Because as you know that these things are possible, you experience it more in your life. You see it happening. I also would like to communicate that every single person who is here listening to this is meant to be. So if you are hearing these words, you are meant to be here. And the reason I'm saying this is because I want you to know that this is a time where people are really put in the right place at the right time. So it is really good to have faith in this, to know that when you end up somewhere, it is right. I have one more thing to share at this time of year in particular. So, at this time, it is all about people being able to actually be in their higher self and have a sense that things are okay. It is a time where you can put things to one side, not in a way where you ignore their existence, but where you are aware of what is not right, but you are able to put it to one side, knowing that as you go forwards with your life, it will be resolved. And what I would like you to know is that resolution doesn't always look the way that you expect. Sometimes resolution comes in very unusual ways. But what I would like you to know is that at this time, a lot can happen for all of you. So don't be in a state where you believe you are stuck with anything. Everything can change. I have no more to say. The week ahead generally will be a good one, but it will not be without some things that arise, only because these things are coming up to be resolved in a good way. That is all. Yeah, so thank you everyone for listening and being part of this. So yeah, wishing you a really happy time, a happy solstice time, and yeah, and perhaps see some of you in the group this evening. Otherwise, have a really good week ahead, and I'll see you next week in the live stream. Much love to all of you.